in accordance with a request from Deputy Gerry Adams to make a statement of personal explanation to the House in accordance with Standing Order 46.1. I acceded to that request, and the Business Committee earlier today agreed the time would be made available. So we shall interrupt the business now in order to allow Deputy Adams make that statement.
And let me begin once again, Concordia, by saying that the shooting of Brian Stack was wrong. It was a grievous loss for his family and should never have happened. In the absence of the two governments agreeing a process to deal with the past, I sought to try and assist the family of Brian Stack to gain a degree of acknowledgement and closure. I did so at their request. And what has happened over the last year points up the challenges of this course of action and the urgent need for a proper legacy process to be established. For the record, I will again set out the sequence of events and my efforts to assist the family of Brian Stack. Austin Stack approached me in 2013 seeking acknowledgement for what happened to his father. I met Austin on a number of occasions over the course of the following months, mostly on my own. Austin and his brother Oliver made it clear to me personally and said publicly that they were not looking for people to go to jail. They wanted acknowledgement, they wanted closure. There is a note of that initial meeting, and I am releasing that today. The computer stamp shows that this note was typed into the computer on May the 16th, 7 days after the first meeting with the family. Austin Stack speaks of his commitment to the restorative justice processes. I believe him. I told the Stack brothers that I could only help on the basis of confidentiality. That was the same basis on which I have tried to help and to assist other families. Both Austin and Oliver agreed to respect the confidential nature of the process we were going to try to put in place. Without that commitment, I could never have pursued the meeting they were seeking, which took place later that summer. The brothers were given a statement at that meeting by a former IRA leader. That statement was made available publicly by the Stack family. The statement acknowledged that the IRA was responsible for their father's death, that it regretted it took so long to clarify this for them, that the shooting of Brian Stack was not authorised by the IRA leadership, and that the person who gave the instruction was disciplined. The statement expressed sorrow for the pain and the hurt that the Stack family suffered. Following the meeting, the family acknowledged the process, and, I quote, they said, that the process has provided us with some answers that 3 separate Garda investigations failed to deliver. We would like to thank Deputy Adams for the role he has played in facilitating this outcome. Since then, the position of Austin Stack has changed. In 2013, Austin gave me the names of 4 people who he believed may have information on the case. He told me he had been given these names by journalistic and Garda sources. Now Austin denies giving me names. Why on earth would I say I received the names from him if I didn't? In February of this year, Austin Stack also claimed that he gave the names to the Fein leader, Micheál Martin. So if Austin Stack was prepared to give names to Mr Martin, why would he not have given them to me? I was, after all, the person he was asking to arrange a meeting. At Austin's request, I contacted those that I could from the names he gave me. They denied having any information about the killing of Brian Stack. I told Austin Stack this. During the election campaign earlier this year, the Fianna Fáil leader and others repeated a lot of what was said in 2013. It's part, obviously, of an election strategy against Sinn Féin. However, in addition, allegations were made that I was holding and withholding information from Garda. It was in this context, and to remove any uncertainty or ambiguity, I emailed the Garda Commissioner the names that Austin Stack had given me, in which he said had come from Garda and journalistic sources. I never at any time described those named as suspects. I made it clear to the Garda Commissioner that I have no information on the death of Brian Stack. The email was only sent after I had spoken to 3 of the 4. There is a live Garda investigation. I am prepared to cooperate with this. The position of the Fianna Fáil leader, who was a minister in successive Fianna Fáil governments during the peace process, and of the Taoiseach during this issue and this period, is hypocritical, inconsistent and disappointing. I have never sought publicity on these issues. Any public comments I have made have been in response to others. Firstly, when Austin Stack publicly asked to meet me, and during the processes we established in 2013. Secondly, when Gael and Fianna Fáil sought to exploit this issue as part of their election campaign. And today, I make this statement in the Dail following an email that I wrote to the Garda Commissioner being put inappropriately, in my opinion, into the public realm and then raised here in the Dail twice by the Fianna Fáil leader. I say inappropriately, and I repeat, because there is a live investigation into the murder of Brian Stack, and we in this chamber should be mindful not to say anything which might prejudice this or any future court proceedings. The Fianna Fáil leader and the Taoiseach seem to be unconcerned about this. Micheál Martin says I named 4 people who I say I understood to be suspects in the murder of Mr Stack. Dr Martin has misled the Dail. I never made such a statement. I have never described those names as suspects. He says that I said that I took a note of the meeting between Austin Stack and Oliver Stack and the former IRA leader. I never said this. I took no note of that meeting. He says I took Austin and Oliver Stack to that meeting in a blocked-out van. The Taoiseach even went as far as to say that I drove the van. Not true. I travelled with the Stack brothers in my own car to a pre-arranged place on the border, and then we were taken in a van to the meeting in the north, as had been pre-arranged. The Fianna Fáil leader and the Taoiseach should correct the Dáil record on these matters. Since Father Alex Reid and Father Des Wilson, myself and John Hume began our work to develop a peace process, successive Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael governments encouraged and facilitated meetings between myself and Martin McGuinness and the IRA leadership. Is the Taoiseach and the Fianna Fáil leader now demanding that we should have named those we met? Do they think that this would have helped the peace process, which we now hopefully all appreciate? I recall one specific occasion when a meeting in St Luke's with the then Taoiseach Bertie Ahern and Tony Blair's Chief of Staff, Jonathan Powell, was suspended to allow Martin McGuinness and I to meet the IRA. On other occasions, initiatives involving the Irish and British governments, the IRA, the Ulster Unionist Party and Sinn Féin were constructed to advance the process. Meetings were adjourned to facilitate this. These conversations helped to secure historic cessations. Should those involved be named? None of this would have been possible without talking to the IRA. Dr Martin knows this. Our efforts led in July 2005 to the IRA announcing an end to the armed campaign and to engaging with the International Independent Commission on decommissioning to put its arms beyond use. This process and progress could only have been secured on the basis of direct contact and confidentiality. Is Micheál Martin demanding that Martin McGuinness and I should name those we were meeting in the IRA leadership and who decided to put their arms beyond use? Is he demanding that the decommissioning body name those IRA members it met and who actually put those weapons beyond use? Are they demanding that Cyril Ramaphosa and Madi Adesari name those in the IRA they engaged with to facilitate the arms being put beyond use? Should we now name all of those in the IRA who supported the peace process and who took difficult but courageous decisions? I and others also assisted the Smithy Commission. Should they be named? One of the most difficult legacy issues that we have to deal with is that of the disappeared, a grave injustice done to those families. The government established the Independent Commission for the location of victims' remains at my request, and with Father Alex Reid's support. As a result of our efforts, 12 of the 16 victims have been recovered, and work continues on seeking information on the remaining 4. I haven't given up on this. Martin McGuinness and I continue to meet regularly with the Commission. The Commission also meets with former IRA people. Should they be named? Micheál Martin knows all this. He was a senior member of the government which established the Commission. Now, all of this progress was only possible on the basis of confidentiality and trust. That is why no IRA people were named during any of these initiatives and why they should not be named today. It is an essential part of any conflict resolution process. Sinn Féin have worked consistently to resolve the issues of the past. As part of our commitment to this, I have met with many families like that of Brian Stack, and because I also have lost family members, I know what they feel like, and I can understand their resentment towards Republicans. But if the Taoiseach and Seachta Martin are interested in healing the legacy of the past for all families, including the Stacks and the Finukans, the families of the Dublin Monaghan bombings, the hundreds more, then they could begin by putting in place an international-based independent truth recovery process, or making sure the process we set out in the Fresh Start Agreement is actually working. My generation of Republican activists who lived through and survived the war have a responsibility to try and bring the families of victims of the war, irrespective of who they are or who was responsible for their hurt, to a better place. That is why I have tried to do my best to help the Stack family in my engagement in 2013. To
the Pension Equality and Fairness Bill. There's no point of order at this point. There is no point. There is no point of order. Very briefly.
Thank you, Ceann Comhairle. I think it is entirely appropriate, given Deputy Adams has been afforded the opportunity to explain to the House his involvement and/or his discussions with individuals relating to this case, that the two other individuals who are members of this House, who he himself has named and which are already in the public domain,
that's not a point of order.
that Deputies Ellis and Ferris be given the opportunity to address this House.
Would you resume your seat? That is not a point of order. The House has agreed that the Deputy, and I have agreed, and the Business Committee has agreed, that the Deputy could make a personal explanation in accordance with Standing Order 46.1, and there is no provision for any response or any questions in relation to a statement made in such circumstances. No, please resume your seat. Resume your seat, Deputy.
As we mentioned here, I'm not going to have people put my name down on something I have nothing to do with it. I refute any allegations.
There's no allegation.
For the information, the man in question claims to be a solicitor. I was actually in jail for the period in Portlaoise and before that in America. So you should check your facts.
Thank you, Deputy. Thank you, Deputy. We're returning to the motion on pension equality, and I call on Deputy, will you? Please, please do not make a farce. Please do not make a farce of this.
I met with the Gardaí at their request regarding the death of Brian, the killing of Brian Stack. I cooperated fully with them, and I had nothing to answer for.
Thank you, Deputy.
Will
you resume your seat?
You're ashamed of yourself.
No, wait. Deputies, please don't. Please. Will resume your. Will you resume your seat? Will you resume your seat? Deputy, please resume your seat. Please resume your seat. Deputy Willie O'Dea, on the motion.